Hot over the holidays tip number 3, identify your weakness. So this is really hard for me. Christmas is always hard for me because my grandma always makes like the best snickerdoodle cookies in the world. I'm sure if you've ever been following me, you've heard about me talking about my grandma's snickerdoodle cookies, and they're my absolute favorite, okay? And back in the day, this was the one thing that would make me spiral out of control, okay? I just couldn't put a stop to eating the cookies. And we all have that thing during the holidays that we're looking forward to the most. The thing that when we have it, we don't just eat a slice of the peach pie, like we eat the whole thing, right? We don't just have a slice of the coconut cake, we have like 4 slices. And I just want you this holiday season, I want you to really think about what is that weakness for you? What's the thing where you become out of control? What's the thing that you try to consume as much of it as possible? What's that thing that you almost feel like it controls you, like it has a power over you and it seduces you? What is that weakness for you? I'm not going to fall back into this trap these snickerdoodle cookies lay for me this year. Like I want to overcome it. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to map out the day and the time that I'm going to have the cookies. Instead of having them the whole month of December, instead of having them from the time my grandma starts making them right after Thanksgiving all the way through Christmas and, you know, having them every other day, I'm going to really map out the day and time that I'm going to set the guidelines for. Not because I don't think that, you know, like I can have it or that treats aren't okay, but it had a special kind of control over me, and that's what I wanted to fix. And so I sat down and said, you know what? My family Christmas with my grandma is gonna be on this day. This is the day that I'm gonna have the snickerdoodle cookies. No other part of the month am I gonna have the cookies, only on this day. And you know what made it awesome is usually I would just eat them for the whole month and I wouldn't care. But it really made me treasure it when I did get to have it that day. And usually the whole reason we're eating that holiday treat that like we love is because of the experience that we originally had with that like cookie or with that cake, right? So for me, it's like the time with my grandma of making them and how special they are and, you know, making hundreds of them at a time. And it's that experience that makes me love the cookie. It's not the cookie itself, right? Like cookies have no feelings, they have no emotions, and that cookie's not gonna love me back. But the cool thing is when I set that time and day that I was gonna have the cookie, my family Christmas with my grandma, it's like it completely changed. Like it's almost like a weight was lifted off of me for the entire month because I knew like I didn't have to fight it every day because it was set in my mind. Here's the day and time. This is the only time I'm having it. And so it was almost like a relief the rest of the month because then I was like, oh my gosh, like when I get home, those snickerdoodle cookies are on the counter and oh my gosh, like how am I gonna like not eat them and I'm gonna have to fight against it. And so I just didn't keep them in my house. I didn't have them. I didn't make them. And then when it came to that day, I got to have them and it was so much more special. So I just suggest for you this year, identify what that weakness is for you. What's that thing that makes you spiral out of control? What's that thing that feels like it seduces you, that you almost don't have limits when it comes to eating it? So identify that weakness and schedule the date and the event that you're gonna have that this year. And just watch how your whole mentality about the food changes. Watch how the power shifts back to you and you become in control of the food again. Just enjoy that and know that, you know, the more that you work on your relationship with food, the more that you, you know, continue to get better in that area, and the easier it's gonna be for you to lose weight in the long run.